Hello there everybody, welcome back to another Train Sim World 5 video. You join us proper down in the West Country. We're at St Austell and we're going to be taking the 47, 484 all the way down to Penzance, basically where it belongs. It's a Great Western 47 and we're very much in the Great Western region. So let's hop in. Look at the gradient change there on the train. Oh hello, we don't want to be here, we want to be in there. Right, let's get the train set up. And even though we're an express service, we are stopping, I think, basically every stop. Apart from Hell, we don't stop there. So got to do that, put that on there. Master key in. Set that to engine only. We're saying that we are actually ready to go. We got. Why are we back here? I want to see the. Yeah, there. Marker lights, need them on. Wait a minute, the marker lights on. AWS, quickly pop that on, and then we'll be ready to go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, not sure why the driver stopped here. We're not really. Well, look at that. We do not fit on the platform. Look at that. Right, get the doors shut. So that's a forward. We'll get them on as well. And next station stop will be Truro. So the big gap, this bit. So we're going all the way to Penzance on this, so it will be about an hour, so it's going to be a long one. Sort of tempted to split it into two, but I don't know. Oh, rough. Yeah, this is the Athena class 47. West Cornwall local route, which is a bit of a meh route to be honest. Personally, I'm not a big fan of West Cornwall local. It's quite an old route now as well. I mean, it's a pretty scenic route, but yeah, it's sort of like a meh route. But I sort of thought it'll sort of be best to get this train on here. It sort of fits in the best. As of being a Great Western Region 47, which apparently has been down here in real life. So cool. So the line will go to single track fairly soon. Cool. In fact, I think we probably will split this into two because it is an hour journey. It's quite a journey. So in this part we'll probably go as far as probably Redruth. Yeah, we'll go to Redruth in this bit. As it'll be more than an hour. I mean, it's scheduled to take 57 minutes, but that's if you're an AI train that's emergency braking into the station and full throttle leaving the station. Trying to stick to the timetable on here is pretty difficult. So it'll be more than an hour. Let's do that, there we go. So we've got a single yellow. This will be for where we join, where we sort of then go into single track. It's nice and steady. You've got a little sort of freight yard coming up as well. Cool. Proper long old train though, look at that. So the cool thing about having these services, I think you need Northern Transpennine to see these services on West Cornwall local. It's like an extra layer. As if not, you'll just get the 150 services. So it's quite a cool layer, but they are blooming long trains. Is that many coaches really needed? Alright, nice and steady up to the red, which should be coming up sort of fairly soon. So you've got the warning board there for the, was that 50? 60? 60. This is one of those routes where I'm doing it HUDless, but it's more of a guess as to what speeds are. Like, I know where stations are fairly well, but speeds on here, not so much. but that will also make us a bit later, probably. And trouble is with this route, it's so up down, so you can't really get like a constant speed on you. It's constantly coming out, going down. Yeah, it's very hilly, extremely hilly. Here's the red coming out, coming a little bit quick up to it. Should be okay though. Wonder what we're waiting for. Hopefully we ain't waiting here for one coming out. Hopefully it'll be fairly quick. Why do we keep spawning that end? There he is though, he is embarking the Brunel, 47484. Pretty smart looking loco. And we wait. Let's quickly contact the box. No, so we are waiting for something. What are we waiting for? Let's have a look. Quick cheeky look. It's not too far away. I mean, this is already a bit far away. Oh, apparently there's nothing. Okay, let's quickly just contact the box again. Wait for signal to change. It doesn't appear, unless it's really close already, but there doesn't appear to be anything, unless it's well hidden. If it's a little too there it is there. Sort of blends in a bit. Okay, not too long. And we can continue down to Truro. This bit's mostly downhill. It's after Truro, that's where it gets a bit all over the place. So this is the sort of bit, the easier section. And the fast bit as well. As we wait for that 150 to chug its way up. How's everyone finding the Athena class 47? Hopefully it's, well, are you enjoying it? Not enjoying it? What do you think? Obviously this is part of the, well, the train we're driving, the 47484. Is part of the ECML Diesel Rail Tours pack. So you do have to have that DLC to have this specific 47. Well, saying that, could you get this? Could you get 47484, say on the Just Trains version, or even the Dovetail Games version? But obviously, it wouldn't be in the special livery, and that's what it wouldn't be as special. Cool. And sit back and relax now for this bit. Now to 60, I think it goes up, possibly it goes to 70 or a bit more. It might go up or down, I don't know. As I said, this route is really a guesstimate. The 65. There's a little bit of industry here. Cool. You're up to 65. Yeah, hopefully I don't sound too quiet or just rambling on about random stuff. It was got up at 3 AM today for work, and it's now coming up to 6 PM. With another 3 AM start tomorrow. But I thought let's do a bit of West Cornwall. I need to get it done, so that's what we're doing. We're doing it. Cool. But yeah, if at any point in the video I look like I'm half asleep or I'm not full of life, well, that's probably because I am half asleep. Hopefully everything goes well on this run. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Cool. 60. So pop that down a bit. Lovely. So this bit's easy here. All downhill to Truro, so a little bit of breakage sort of hold us at the limit. After Truro is where it becomes a bit up, down, round, wiggle round. That's like the long bit. Like this bit, even at 16 miles long, was, you know, it's quite a chunk of the journey. Mentally goes really quick, but once you get past Truro towards Penzance, it goes so slow. And the stations aren't even that far from each other, they're like 7 miles or so. Well, I suppose that is, you know, if you're a bird flying from point A to point B. That probably is actually a bit longer than that. Cool. Train though for going to, well, Penzance. Perhaps in the summer months this would this sort of train length might be needed. Well, they're saying that this route is set in the 90s. Well, I suppose you'd probably have more domestic tourism, so you probably would. Because I think I said, when did I set this one? In May. So what's that? Sort of, yes, school holidays-ish, almost. So I suppose it could, you know, it could be a fill-up train. I suppose nowadays trains going down to Penzance, do they really get that busy? I mean, what is exciting about Penzance? I suppose you've got Land's End, that's not, you know, that far along. Just sort of say you've been there. I don't know, what is exciting about Penzance? What is there to make someone go, oh, I'm going to go to Penzance? Because I mean, I'd probably just go there really just to say I've been there, to be honest. So I do sort of hope to do at some point. Go on the sleeper down there, just to be like, oh, I've done it, been there. But yeah, to a non-train enthusiast, what's exciting about Penzance? I suppose really it's just going to be Land's End, isn't it? Land's End and is it the Isles of Sicily? No, Isles of Scilly. Isles of Scilly, I think. I don't know, anyone from down this area? What's exciting? Probably a nice place to live. So it'll be quiet. A bit of speed here. Let's power up again. And yeah, there are fixes coming to this train, as you can see. It's not, you know, 100%. I think the DSD still doesn't work properly, and the window there is a bit off. Yeah, so it's not 100% at the moment, this model of the 47, but apparently there is an update coming. Cool. So we're doing to Truro at 27 past. I think it was 27 past. And eventually it will go back to double track. Just want to think what the speed is coming into Truro. 30 or 40? But I mean, hopefully we'd be doing that speed anyway at that stage. Well, let's quickly put the brakes on again as we're getting that speed up a bit. US magnet there, so we must be coming up to something. There you go, signal. So yeah, probably does go to double track again fairly soon. Although I don't know if it's ever been answered, but I mean, this route realistically now is double track. But when this route was set in the 90s, was it double track before? Or is this when they were implementing double track for the first time? As in perhaps, you know, when the beaching cuts happened, they pulled up a whole, you know, side of the track because it wasn't being used. And then they thought, oh, that's a wrong idea, and popped it back down. Yeah, was this double track before the 90s? Or is this route set when it was being double tracked for the first time? Do comment below. And there's the double track, so we're not that far off of, well, still a bit of a way, but we're not that far off of Truro now. Should go into the tunnel at some point along here, and after the tunnel it's then across the viaduct and into Truro, and that's 16 miles done already. So yeah, quite quick this bit, whereas the next bit just goes on for it, like Truro to Redruth. I think what, 7 miles or so. That bit goes on forever. Which is one of the reasons why I'm not really a fan of this route. It just mentally feels really slow. Like, I don't know, I've never really got along with this route. Even on Train Sim Classic, just yeah, this line, I don't know, just isn't really my cup of tea. Well, of course it is a good line, just yeah, not really my thing as such. Still playing. Yeah, West Cornwall local by Rivet Games, released back in 2021. So it is, yeah, a few years old now. I think this came out quite soon after the Brighton Main Line released. That's why it sort of got, you know, towered over by BML. Well, you do get the Class 150 with this. Yeah, you get the Class 150 with this DLC, as well as a 37 as well. Struggling here. Literally at full power, we're not really getting much speed here. Must be a little bit uphill here. Cool, right, I think we're coming up to the tunnel. It looks like we're coming up to a tunnel. We are, yeah, and through here, not too far after this, we then go over the viaducts and into Truro. In we go. Cool. We're going 35, this is full power as well. We're not really doing that well speed-wise, which I mean isn't great at this stage, considering this is still the easy part of the route. Gradients get slightly more fierce once we get out of Truro. I think it's either 30 or 40 into Truro. Although we'll go right down to the end of the platform, try and get as much of the train in as possible, if we can. Here we are, pretty super duper long train. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, what, 10 or 11 coaches? A bit longer to the viaducts than what I had first thought. We're really, see, this is going to take over 57 minutes. So we're not even in sort of, hang on, there's another tunnel? Okay, there's another tunnel. And then, did we go over the viaducts? Possibly. I didn't realise there was 2. Gradient change as well, look at that. Sort of just straight over and into the tunnel. There's number 47, climbing its way out. We've got a warning for a 65. Although 40 really probably for us. Here we go. Cool. Probably 40 for us. So we are a loco hauled train. Yeah, should hopefully be coming up to Truro. Hopefully. So we don't want to be going that quick anyway. Just waiting to see the track go around to the right, and it's like we're there. But the thing is, this is the easy part of the journey. The worst is yet to come, or the hardest bit is yet to come. And it's surprising we are basically an all-stopper as well. I'm wanting for a 30. I think that will be coming into Truro. We get that 30. Let's pop the speed down. And over the viaduct. Or viaducts. Not aqueducts, as I've heard a fair few people mistake a viaduct for in the past. Aqueduct is when it's a canal. Or a waterway. Let's get a little photo. Sort of the perfect place for it, really. Being up high. Let's do that. Cool. Should we go that side? Let's go that side. Oh yeah, there you go. That would do. Get the brightness up a little bit and the saturation. Just because this is an old route, so everything is just dull and dim. Dim and dismal. There you go, and we're at 30. Cool. Semaphore signals as well. Nice. Yeah, this is Truro coming out. And I bet we are running quite a bit late as well. It's been, what, 24 minutes so far. Yeah, I can't imagine we're on time. I'd be very surprised if we were on time. So I think it's also a slightly auto-generated timetable on this route as well. So again, it's sort of more for the AI. A bit like on East Coast, where the 313 timetable is sort of auto-generated for sort of the AI. go right down the end here, so actually let's not put the brakes on. So we're going all the way down the end. Love this station. It probably is my favourite station on this route. It's a lovely looking station. Right, we've got a red at the end of the platform. There's a Falmouth service. Sadly we don't get that branch line on here. And there's the 37 over there. So I'm bringing it down to about sort of 5 miles an hour, then I'll start sort of easing in the loco brake. That's if we even need it, because we're coming, we're slowing down really nicely here. Now we need it a little bit. Just a smidge. Yeah, this is Truro. I think I've got the signal already. So we are, yeah. Oh no, it wasn't 27, 47. We're running 5 minutes late. Great. And did we actually fit in here as well? Yeah, well, just about. Yeah, just about we fit in. And yeah, onwards to Redruth after this. And once we get to Redruth, we'll cut it in half. Right, get the doors shut. Redruth in 7.5 miles. It takes forever to get there. And go. But let's just put it into full whack. Well, we'll get a bit. Bring it up to about 10 miles an hour, and full throttle. As we do start going pretty steeply uphill soon. 37. Just see what speed we can get to. It's quite soon we're going to be going uphill steep. Yeah, it's very steep out of Truro going up. Whereas the rest of the route is pretty steep, as you'll see. So it almost was a little bit underpowered, this loco, at least for this route. But I mean, they're running in real life. And to get here, you'd have to go over the Devon banks as well, which are probably even steeper. There goes the Falmouth branch, which we've done a fair few times on Train Sim Classic, but not on Train Sim World. It's just not there. Let's go, yeah, forward shot. Yeah, watch that going past. There's another route which sort of just having that shot there was like, oh, we need to do that. Northern Transpennine, we need to do that at some point. Possibly even Tees Valley, but more Northern Transpennine. We haven't done that in ages. Yeah, we'd love to do some Northern Transpennine at some point in the 45, Leeds to Manchester, or vice versa. Oh, you just cut that into 2 as well. So we're going 55 now, so we're picking up that speed quite nicely, considering sort of how uphill it is. Now, well, I know when we're coming into Redruth, as I believe you get the warning board for either a 40 or 45. And I'm wondering, where would it want us to stop at Redruth? In fact, that's a very good question. Let's quickly have a look on the map. Okay, at the end of the platform. There's like one of these stations, there's stop markers which go beyond the platform. So basically you can overshoot the station, but you're allowed to do it. But it appears this one is not the case. at least maybe not. In fact, maybe we could. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, but 9 coaches. Oh, hang on. There's a bit of freight there with the sea cows. Yeah, this is the long bit of the journey. But if you made it this far in the video, thanks all for staying in. It all does help, and if you're enjoying it, feel free to leave a thumbs up. Again, that also helps out greatly as well. I'm very much trying to stay awake. Yeah, I've had like loads of tea and everything, but it just doesn't work. Some people have like a tea or a coffee and they'll be like, straight awake in no time. I have it, still half asleep. Caffeine just doesn't appear to work. Welly on it. Fly-by shot. Yeah, I think the last time I drove this route I was in the HST, that being the Great Western HST on Trenton Classic. So I'm 52 at the moment. And there's also an abandoned station up here as well, in which the speed comes down to like 55. That might be on the next section though. Redruth were waiting, yeah. Yeah, this bit always feels longer than St Austell to Truro. At least that's what I find. I don't know, does for anyone else this route just go really slow? Or is it just me? Yeah, I've always found this route to just feel like it takes forever. Yeah, whereas some routes zap past quite quickly and it's like, oh wow, that's been an hour already. Or this route, it's like, has it been 3 hours, 4 hours? It just sort of goes really slow. Or at least it feels like it does. I saw a platform, I was like, no, but this is the abandoned one. I was going to say, that can't be Redruth already. Yeah, here's one of the abandoned stops. There's also another one as well, I think in between Camborne and Hell, or Camborne, no, Camborne, but yeah, I think between Camborne and Hell there's another one. So that's the only stop we're not stopping at is Hell. For whatever reason we don't get to stop there. 70? Guess what station we've got on the board at the moment. That one's going to get to Paddington rather late. Cool. What time's that getting to Paddington? This one we've got on the board at the moment. Must be late. It goes the long way as well. Bristol Temple Meads, Barker's Bar. No, it goes the long way round. But we're not too far off Redruth now. Chippenham, Swindon, Didcot. It's going to be late. Reading 23:12 and Paddington 23, basically midnight. And that starts its journey at 1812. It's a late old one, isn't it? Right, yeah, I think we're coming up to it now, so let's start getting ready. So we should hopefully get the warning for the either the 40 or 45 soon. I think we get that before Redruth. Maybe we don't. Again, just being steady. Don't want to end up speeding through it. And then still a bit further. So this bit just takes forever. Well, it feels like it takes forever. Would be quite cool if they made this route modern day though. So I think on here you could then get what, the 166. No, that doesn't run this far down, does it? Or does it now? Yeah, what trains run here modern day? If they ever did this modern day, that would be quite cool with like an IET, etc. Maybe even do it all the way to Plymouth, Penzance to Plymouth. Oh my god, where is this station? Waiting for the warning board. So again, this is why I don't play this route. It just takes forever. Or does it fit mentally takes forever? Coming up to it now. Like even when you're going the speed limit, it still feels really slow. There we go, we're coming up to it now. There's the warning for the 40, so let's get the brakes on. Cool. Yeah, coming up to Redruth. So we're 9 coaches, so I'm almost tempted to go further down the platforms. I think at one of these stations there are stop markers going past the platform, so I might stop on one of those. Not entirely sure that is correct, but that doesn't matter, that's alright. What's the worst that could happen? There's a 150. We should do now get the more modern 150 on the Cardiff City Network route. If you don't want to drive the old 90s one. Yeah, it's either this one or maybe it's Hale which has it, but we'll take a look. See if it does, we'll go past the platform to one of those stop markers. That's the 40. Nice, steady does it. Can we go past here? Well, I was saying this one has a relatively long platform. Yeah, hang on, yeah, it goes past. So let's do that. Let's see if we can go to the 9. Well, really, with the loco it would be 10, but we'll go to the 9. Yeah, so let's sort of go past the platform. Because, I mean, that's where the stop markers are. They're out here. There's the 8 and there's the 9, the next one along. I love the way the stop markers on here are modern day stop markers. Straight off of the, probably what the East Coastway will be probably straight off the East Coastway route. Right, 9, there you go, we're 9 coaches. Stop, right. Yeah, so yeah, that's what it does. It fits on the rear coaches. But you get a couple at the front off. It's not even, yeah, only one. That's not too bad. And then up next off, this is Campbell. But we're going to split it in half here. So that is it for part number 1 of our little Cornish adventure from St Austell down to Penzance in Isambard, Kingdom Brunel, 47484. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed it. Links usual places: Discord, PayPal, merch store, as well as our affiliate link for the lovely UK departure boards, which just looks awesome. Apart from that, see you all and take care. Bye guys.